Hey everyone, let's talk about how mediumship readings can assist with healing on both sides, not only here in the physical world, but within the spirit world as well. Yesterday, while doing a reading, a gentleman stepped forward to connect, and he was connecting with his daughter, and he started apologizing for being absent for his children, not always being there when they needed him. And he wasn't only speaking about his physical presence, but he was also speaking about his emotional capacity to be there for them when they needed him. Immediately, his daughter started crying. And what came out of this was her father, the communicator, further explained that he actually was quite selfish and lived life practically like a bachelor. So her mother essentially was a single mother, even though they were married and such. Her father went on to explain even more that he was raised in a rather dysfunctional home. They had no finances. His father, unfortunately, was an alcoholic, and his mother did not know how to cope and was only surviving, if you will, barely. Therefore, she was also barely there because she had to raise the kids, she had to work jobs as much as possible in order to have food for the kids. And he went so far as to show me, so I could share with her, that she would give the kids some bowls of some kind of stew or food, and she would just eat a little bit of bread. And as he further explained this, I'm sorry, as he further explained this, his daughter really began to get really emotional. And emotion within the spirit, when you're doing readings, it's not unexpected, right? But this was different because this man was not a man who would generally apologize for any of his actions. So here he was from the spirit world saying that I understand how my actions affected your life. And I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And he also went on to say, despite me, you have found a way to create a beautiful family, and I'm so proud of you. My sitter was so emotional that we actually had to pause for a moment. And sometimes we have to do that, right? We just have to pause for a moment to just let her have that moment. So I just sat and I waited. And then she said, I'm okay. I'm okay. She had validated everything he said. And it was as though you could practically see some of this lifting off of her. And she said, I never thought I would ever hear, not only him in a reading, but an apology from him. She went on to say how much she really appreciated his honesty and how absolutely correct he explained things. And she also went on to say that she also appreciated understanding his childhood because now it made sense. All of it made sense to her because he never spoke about his childhood. So what did we have here? We had healing on both sides. We had a gentleman in the spirit world who had worked and clearly had worked and healed himself in the spirit world, but now he had an opportunity to get that out and to share that with one of his children. And one of his children now had a clear understanding of it wasn't personal. He didn't just abandon us, but he wasn't capable of being a father in the way that we needed. And that interaction, that short little interaction, she said, wait till my sister hears this, because it's going to help my sister who never had a good partner because it was always modeled after their father. And now you can see the change and the pattern wanting to break within that family dynamic. Pretty extraordinary, isn't it? I thought I would take the time to share that story with you because, we never know what we're going to go into in a medium reading, right? Never. Not in practice, not in a professional session, not in a testing session. And sometimes, or a lot, we may even minimize or not fully be aware of what the impact of what we're doing is. How is that really affecting people aside from bringing comfort and proof of the afterlife? But this was a great example of just healing occurring in both realms, that connection. Think about it. Really notice the powerful, powerful readings that you may be having. Listen to what your sitter gives back and how they are moved and affected by their reading. As we know, that will now have a ripple effect as well. It is not small what we do, guys. It is not a small thing. It's a very sacred thing. It's an honor and a privilege to be the voice for people in the spirit world. And here is a really good example of why it is such an honor and privilege. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to doing some more videos for you guys. Take good care in the meantime. Take care of yourselves. Keep practicing. Keep working. The more we do it, the better it becomes. And when I say better, the more developed we get. The more developed we get, the more in service we are to those in the spirit world. And that is our role. So talk to you again soon.